when you really Google it, he does look like an Adam Fugger.
What the-
Like a guy that would have.
Swung on, hit in the air to right field and deep. It is high. Holy takes it all the way. Bryant for the win.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to your favorite sports podcast, Shirts versus Skins, episode 53. And today we have a grand episode for you guys, featuring some footy talk, some Chelsea, Barca, that duel in the transfer market, unlike pretty much anything we've seen before. Talk some NFL, Murray's contract, and Ahmed's conspiracy theory. Me and Tiku have no clue what it is. We're going to learn, just like you guys, on this episode,
Exciting.
what his conspiracy theory relating to the NFL is. And then we'll finish off with some combat sports, preview this weekend's card, UFC 277, give our sport bet picks, SVS picks for the UFC like last time, and finish off with some talk about Dana White's Contender Series. Dennis Bazooka fought, and some trivia related to that as well. You guys will stay tuned. I think you guys are going to like the trivia, especially with Dana White's Contender Series. I was about to say Dana White's conspiracy theory because I'm that excited about Ahmed's conspiracy theory.
It's not like crazy. Relax. But
We'll see. Let's talk some footy, some transfer talk. Chelsea, Barca. Have we ever seen a duel like this before? Like one team wants this player and Barca, the other team just steals every single transfer target. Like, we're talking every single transfer target. And most likely some players on that team as well. I mean, it feels like Barca has something against Chelsea right now.
crazy.
I mean, I personally, I've never seen anything like this before. It's an absolute disaster class for Chelsea when you look at all the players that they were linked to. What was it, like Lewandowski, Kunde, who else? Rafinha, and there might be more to come in terms of like Aspilicueta, Marcus Alonso might be going to Barcelona, and it just goes to show that with Roman Abramovich leaving Chelsea now, that I don't think I can fear Chelsea going forward as they were before. I think when you had someone like Roman Abramovich who was so ruthless, especially in the transfer market, that's what made Chelsea the top club in England when he came in 2004, when he brought in Jose, when he brought in all the players that he wanted, the way they were dominating, to even later to when they were winning the Champions League, to winning the league multiple times with so many managers. The thing they did was dominate the transfer market. And this is what they did to United, because I can remember multiple occasions where Chelsea was stealing players from us that we were linked to. I still remember in my head Pedro. Like, Pedro was supposed to come to United at that one time when Van Gaal was here, and they took him. And it's just like, it goes to show. And it's not a fucking coincidence that the new owners of Chelsea are Americans. This is not a coincidence. These guys, these American owners, have no idea what the fuck they're doing. They buy into a club for one thing and one thing only. They want to make money. You can even look at it from it's not even just our club. Look at Arsenal. The way a lot of Arsenal fans have been attacking their transfer activity, not the last couple of years. I mean, last year, I think they were the top spenders in the Premier League. But before that, how many times Arsenal cheaped out on Wenger and all the things? Look at Liverpool. Liverpool are really getting overshadowed because of how good Klopp is, that their owners are cheap fucks. Look at United. We could go all night about United, this and that. So now that there's an American owner at Chelsea, I can't fear them as they did before. Their reign of terror is probably over in that sense. But, they're still a big club. They still have a lot of depth in that team at the moment. I don't think Chelsea really need to worry much. I think Tuchel said, "Oh, we're not going to be ready, bro. Your team is stacked with Chelsea. Always had massive depth on that team, and it goes to show that Roman Abramovich, if you have a good owner that cares and actually gives a fuck, that you could be very successful. And looking at it from like Barca side, it's fucking insane the way they're spending with all the fucking shit that they're doing and all the people. Like I said, I do believe they are in a financial crisis. I think they're doing this because I feel like they have to. I think they have to go all in to try and win make a contending team now, because
Is
if
it
they
worth
keep
it,
on
though?
losing,
Is it worth it?
I think it is.
You
I
think
think
that
it
what
is
they're
if you're
doing
looking
right
at
now is going to be worth it in the long term?
If the super team happens, then yes.
Well, the
The
super
Super
team.
League.
Oh,
fucking
the
Super
Super
League. Sorry.
Oh,
That's the thing.
Super
Yeah,
League.
you're
If
right.
that happens,
It would,
then
if it does happen. I don't think it does. I think the PR behind it. I think all the
don't care.
backlash that they had. I think it might. I don't see how fans can get into it. I don't know how, how easily football fans are swayed by certain things. I think they look at UEFA and the way they do things with their shit, with the new rules, with the new bullshit that goes on. Which, listen, this has been happening for a very long time. So now you want to give owners you want Florentino Perez to run a Super League when he's literally the president of one of the teams that's in it. Is that not a conflict of interest?
sounds like the
No,
MLS. Sounds like
Does
Yeah.
that not make that make and
But,
the
I mean-
MLS where all the owners literally share the revenue, and it's like, why the fuck do we need to compete? Why do we
Yeah.
need to do that?
No point in competing.
I don't want to get into a whole Super League thing. I mean, if you guys want to check it out, our fucking live stream that we had, that was an emergency live stream. We never really did that. But
I will say this
that was
though,
insane. That was
honestly,
very-
I don't know about you guys,
that was
but
wild.
I kind of
That was wild.
disagree with everything I said on that live stream now. Like,
Really?
looking back,
Really?
hindsight, bro, I really think, well, actually, nah, we did kind of say in the live stream that if they structure it decently
Yeah.
and, like, fuck UEFA, like UEFA's scumbags. Yeah, we did say that. You know what? No, I take that back.
You have to
We,
keep
we've
the
been
league
pretty
going.
consistent from the start.
That's
We've been pretty
that's
consistent.
number
No,
one.
if they come back and they give us a good format and everything like that, bro, I'll go ahead, fucking do that.
Super League,
It
hell
would
yeah.
be kind of annoying to me because I feel like you look at Barcelona, like it's like they get away with it. It's kind of annoying that they might get away with it with all the bullshit that, like, they dug their old hole and now
Well,
they
they
get
were-
a buyout. Like, that shit
They
tilts
were
me out. But
bankrupt
like,
in March. Like, they
Yeah.
didn't get away with it. Like, now, like, it doesn't make sense. The only way it makes sense is if that Super League happens, and then like they
Yeah.
actually get away with it. But right now, like, they were bankrupt in March, bro. Like, what they're doing right now makes absolutely no sense. I don't know how they're like like signing top players, like world class players,
Great players.
not just like bums. So
Oh,
crazy.
yeah. This is probably, sorry to
Barcelona.
cut you off, Ahmed, just real quick, probably one of Barca's best transfer windows ever, with everything going through.
It kind of reminds me of
Definitely.
like the 2009 Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Not really, because I
No,
think
not
that's
at all,
2009
bro.
Not as big.
That
but-
was it's not as big. My bad. In terms of like getting the amount of players and the quality that they are, it reminds me. I mean, bro,
It's up
Real
there.
Madrid.
It's up.
That's right. What was it? Ronaldo, Kaká,
Kaká,
Benzema,
eh,
Xabi
eh,
Alonso, Higuain. Maybe I don't remember, but obviously, that's a different level when you look at it. But in terms of what they got, Lewandowski, Kundia, Christensen, another player that they got from Chelsea.
Oh yeah. forgot about that.
Rafinha, Kundi, that the young kid that they got,
Kessie.
Torres, I believe that was his name. Cassie on a free.
Re-signed
like,
Dembele.
We signed
Banger of a
Dembele.
window,
Like
bro.
it's a massive.
Keeping
win.
Dembele was
I think-
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
Ahmed-
Dembele needs to stay his ass on the pitch.
Yeah. Ahmed,
We know
'cause
the
I cut you
talent,
off. What were you gonna say?
No, I mean it's definitely embarrassing for Chelsea, but it's also not as serious. Like, listen, it's Barcelona, compared to Chelsea. Every player, especially guys like Rafinha, like these dudes dream, of playing in Barcelona. And then the clubs like reach agreement, so like they did everything they could, but it must hurt definitely, especially Koundé. Like that's a player that like they wanted for a while, and then at the very last second, Xavi calls him. That guy on Twitch, what's his name, Gerard, fucking Romero,
Romero. Yeah.
absolutely hilarious.
Things
that
are
guy.
happening.
Bro.
He
He's
is funny. It makes
Things
me
are
laugh.
happening.
he really is funny. That video is hilarious. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely embarrassing for Chelsea. But now it's about like how do you react? You gotta like get some top players. Like you need obviously a center back now. Probably need a
I mean, they
striker.
did get Koulibaly, no?
Yeah, but that's him and Thiago Silva. They missed out on it. I think also Nathan Ake, obviously De Ligt. They need one other center back, I believe. and probably like a backup right back, definitely a striker. So now they have to. I mean, you kind of said that like Tuchel, like he's got a squad ready. I kind of feel bad for Tuchel because he's a top manager, but I mean, how he's been treated at the club right now. I mean, it's not like it's their fault, Obviously, with this whole thing with Russia and stuff like that, like crazy ass shit had to happen. But I think for him, like,
I mean, dude,
he
I don't want to.
he deserves better. You can't have Timo Werner as your starting striker going into next season. Like, he deserves better.
But let me ask you a question about this. Like, he deserves better. Would you don't think they didn't go to him when the Lukaku transfer was going to go ahead? You think they didn't ask him like, yo, dude?
I don't think they did. And they should have because I mean, bro,
for sure. Yeah.
Like just winning the Champions League, that's insane thing to do. It's not easy to do. And Lukaku, I get it, he was scoring goals for Inter Milan, and I get it, he was at the club before, but that was a disaster class, total failure, one of the worst transfers of all time. And now he's left with nothing.
As much.
Oh, for sure.
Really not
sure.
talking about how bad that transfer was.
And a $10 million loan to go back, that's just a terrible. I mean, when you add that in, Lukaku, just Lukaku, like, is a terrible summer. But then you add all this in, they have to react and fast because it's a terrible look for them right now.
I mean, talking about the Lukaku transfer a little bit more because, like I said, not really talked about as much as people really think. The amount of money they spent, and right after winning the Champions League, and the point of the season when Lukaku started talking about how, oh, my love, I wish I stayed in Inter, whatever the fuck that happened.
Bro,
Chelsea were there for the league. Dude, you remember that shit? Like, Chelsea were there, top, like, fighting for the league at that point. And then literally as soon as Lukaku came out and said that bullshit, downhill. So it's like they literally ruined the whole season. Lukaku did that. Because the bullshit that was going on. It was just like, and it was nonstop talked about for like the couple of days when that shit came out. Because it's like, it's insane for Lukaku to come out and say those comments about how fucking he loves Inter and all this bullshit. Yeah, Chelsea, a big club,
I think Tuchel was dying for either Lewandowski or Haaland, but I mean once that didn't happen, they wanted Lukaku back, and I mean, bro, as soon as he got there, that first interview was embarrassing. Like talking about Inter Milan, and as soon as you get there, bro, you're at Chelsea, the club that you have a chance to make right again, second chance, and you total failure, embarrassing what he did for them, and I mean, look, like you said, kind of fucked up their whole season. Well, a lot of things to go with it.
Yeah. Honestly, listen, I feel like there's more to come. Azpilicueta, I think, will be a Barcelona player come the end of the summer.
Marcos Alonso as well.
Marcos Alonso, very likely. Barcelona, this window, no matter how much we question it, are going to sign the players they want to sign. All of them, unfortunately. And we'll see. Listen, Amazon Prime, I know you guys look to do movie deals and film series deals. If I'm them, I jump on this Barcelona thing and pray, take the biggest gamble of Amazon's career and pray that it all implodes and it ends in a Barcelona bankruptcy. Not that I want that to happen.
Liquidation.
Yeah, that would be just the end of the season. This film series was cut short due to Barcelona liquidating or some shit. So
that would be.
I would jump on that if I was on Amazon Prime.
I really don't give a fuck about Barcelona, to be honest. If they liquidate it or not, I really don't give a fuck.
Really,
I know they're one of the biggest clubs. I know they're one of the biggest clubs ever. Probably the second best behind Real Madrid and this and that. The legacy and this and this. I don't give a fuck. I think they put themselves in the situation they are right now because of the arrogance of them.
I mean, it was basically one guy that what's his name, Bartholomew, whatever. He was the one giving out
exactly
giving out contracts and all these.
Which is, I mean,
he fucked them up bad.
Yeah, for sure. But I just don't. I don't care. Maybe I'm a little bit salty as a United fan because they beat us multiple times in the Champions League final. Which,
I mean,
you know,
we
sucks.
own them. So
Don't get me wrong.
But speaking of though, like I don't want to get too into it, but the Super League though, like if you had to bet right now, do you think it happens? I mean, because right now I think it's definitely gonna happen. We look at things like the that Live Tour, like for the golfers, bro. Like this is where sports is going. Like players are making too much money now, and it's like all these American owners and stuff like that. Like they don't value like actual hard work, and stuff like that. It's all about just the best teams, just playing each other every other week. The best players doing that as well, and that's where the money's at. And I think that Super League probably in the next couple of years, I think the Champions League, like their whole thing is about to change anyway. So after that, I think the Super League is definitely gonna come through.
I could see it happening as early as next year. Honestly.
Possibly.
I think it can happen like the Spanish and Italian clubs as early as next year will start the procedure, and then right after that the English clubs will jump in. I think that's my best guess. But let's move on from the transfer talk and because I'm dying to hear this conspiracy theory. But of course, first
Shout out to Bayern for getting the job done. Matthias Tell, scary talent from France, saying the second best talent since Imape. Some saying that he's even more gifted. We'll see what happens. The dude is. Listen, bro. I've seen some tape on him. Guy's only played 49 minutes in actual pro soccer. I get it.
That is the funniest thing.
But listen, bro. Like Bayern, what they do, you cannot doubt them. They got Jamal Musiala from nowhere. Alphonso Davies was playing where in like Vancouver. Now they're studs, absolute beasts. So many guys. Yeah. So if they look at him and they're saying that we're gonna spend like 20 million on a 17-year-old, Bayern Munich, they don't do this at all. So there's a reason why, and my goodness, I can't believe they let us have him again. Shout out to Bayern, shout out to Brazil.
This podcast really needs a compilation of our faces when the other hosts talk about their favorite teams, because me and Tigu's face was just hilarious as soon as Ahmed started talking.
It's because you're mad, like.
Well, no,
like, bro.
Honestly, I don't know who he is. I'm not mad.
I've been telling you guys to go sign Conrad Lyman for how long, and now he's coming to Bayern Munich. You guys don't understand how good he is. That's why, like.
Bro, I'm not that Man United scout. Like, no, but like you do it too when we talk about United. It's just very funny. It's just like instantly there's oh fuck, I'm gonna have to put up with this.
You could talk about Matthias Tell, but when we talk about James Garner, it's like, oh my god.
How are you gonna compare James Garner to Matthias Tell, bro? Matthias Tell is a $20 million valued 17-year-old who has been talked about as being like the next big thing in France. You're talking about James Garner, who by the age of 25 will be a pharmacist, bro.
What is that? They said the same thing about Malcolm when he was in France.
Who?
Do you remember Malcolm?
Oh, come on, bro.
Malcolm the Brazilian? What do you mean?
First of all, Barcelona ruined him. Barcelona ruined him anyway. Barcelona ruined him, and they shipped him off to fucking Zenit or whatever they shipped him.
Now, hold up. Listen, I'm going to tell you this. Matthias Tell, I really don't know much about it. And this is a guy.
Listen, bro, like...
I know my young players. Like, I'm pretty good with that. And I've never heard of this kid. Doesn't mean I don't think he's going to be a good player, because like you said it perfectly. I think Bayern know what they do, especially when it comes to going for these younger kids and younger guys. And if they're spending that much money for a young kid, like you said, they have to have somewhat of a talent. So it'll be exciting. I'll keep up to date with his future, and he's definitely a one to watch for me.
Let's move on, Ahmed, to the NFL. Get us started there with that massive contract to, in my opinion, a great player.
I don't know if you heard, Yoni, because the way you're talking about it, I don't know if you heard, but you know what happened with this Kyle Murray contract, right?
What?
The big news is about it, right? Like, obviously, the money is great. $160 million guaranteed for him. I think the second most behind Deshaun Watson. So shout out to him. He got paid. I'm a big fan of Kyle Murray. But I don't know if you heard, though. Like, there's a thing in there, like a clause, right? every week.
I think
He's got to
the
watch
4 hours.
4 hours, bro.
Yes.
Which I mean, I've seen on ESPN. I think, bro, like that's ridiculous. Like I've never seen anything like that. Like you got to watch 4 hours of film, and it's not even about like, oh, of course I'll do that. It's about like, why would they have to put it in there? Like, is Kyler Murray really and like he's kind of talked about it. He said, I'm a guy that doesn't really not like to watch film, but don't really need to watch film. I'm a guy that likes to see it for myself out there, and like my mind does a lot for me. So
Yeah.
I mean, but you gotta watch film, right? And 4 hours of film, a week. Like, what are we doing? Like, come on now. Like that's nothing. But I mean, that's crazy. Like, I wouldn't even sign it. Like just say no. And like, what are they gonna do? Say okay? Like, bro, they need Kyler Murray. Like the Cardinals were going nowhere, and Kyler Murray has, as soon as he got there, like I understand, like they tailed off at the end, but as soon as he got there, like he's made them like a good,
Wait.
team. Not great, but a
Hold
good
up.
team.
Wait, hold on. You think it's a bad look for the Cardinals to put that in there?
I think for everybody, it's just a total disaster.
All parties
Okay.
involved.
All
I
parties,
agree.
of course.
I'm looking at it from like,
Kyler Murray.
like Arizona needs to put it on their thing. Like Kyler
That's
Murray,
what I'm saying.
you're not doing this like regularly. Like you're not there looking at the game. I mean, dude, you have to do your work in the film room to understand what the fuck you're doing. I mean, it makes sense. The Arizona's last game in the fucking year, he was playing. Maybe he should be in the film room more because he was a fucking disaster. He was a disaster. So, I mean,
That's the bad part for Kyler Murray, but the bad part.
That's insane.
for the
Actually, I
Cardinals,
didn't hear about that. I
that
didn't
someone
know
got-
that was.
You
was-
really
that got
didn't hear
leaked.
about that?
No,
That's,
no, I
so
didn't.
just because I have it pulled up here, I want to give you like, this is funny just to read. This is like Zoom meetings
verbatim.
in class, part 2, bro. The addendum. What the fuck? Never heard this
Yeah,
word in my
addendum.
life.
Yo.
That the addendum
Official
states
term.
that the time that Murray spends in mandatory meetings does not count, so it has to be independent study.
Yeah.
And
how are they gonna know?
oh well, here's the
just
crazy
about to
part.
say.
This is kind of
then.
weird. He will not get credit if he's not studying or watching the material while it plays on his tablet. So I'm assuming he gets provided a tablet
Like, that's what
that
kids,
the team
like,
tracks,
screen time.
right? Yeah, exactly. Or if he's doing something
that's
that can distract him or draw his attention elsewhere while the material is playing, such as playing video games, watching TV, browsing the internet. Failure to meet this requirement will mean Murray will be deemed to be in default of his contract per the wording in the agreement. It kicks in.
And they can
this
avoid
season.
it
Yeah.
at
So-
any time.
That's so this dude is gonna be given a tablet, right? Probably with a nice cover, screen protector that tracks that whether he's watching like fucking
Probably like a dinosaur case, right?
yeah, something like that. I could just bro, it literally just makes him look like a child, bro. It literally makes him
but-
look like a child in a daycare with the way that
But
this, like, wording is set
but
up.
the Cardinals
He looks
just
like a
paid
child,
a
bro.
guy $230 million who's not even like watching film. So like they both look bad. It's just a total
Yeah.
disaster. in my
This is
opinion.
230 million over 7 years, correct?
I don't know the years, but I know that
Regardless.
160 was
A
guaranteed.
lot of money. Yo, all right. Before
160.
I'm gonna ask you a question pretty soon, but I do want to bring this up. I think, as a pro athlete, man, you have so many resources to be good, and film, I think, is one of the most under appreciated aspects of professional sports. Like if you are playing football, right? We all played sports as kids on teams, school, whatever, outside. If I was able to
played
watch
sports.
film of another team that I was playing every weekend, like, bro, I would have been in there studying that shit to a crazy amount. You know what I mean? As a
Especially for a
professional,
quarterback.
especially for a quarterback, like studying patterns, studying plays, studying defenses, the calls the manager makes, the way the field looks, all that shit. I would just be in the room, and I'm someone who fucking does not study, bro. But bro, it's like you're playing this sport as a
But
professional.
you're also not getting paid,
Yeah.
millions of dollars.
$230 million until 2028.
That's-
I'm there all
That's-
day. And
Yeah.
it's
That's what I'm
not
saying,
like
bro.
it's like literally all the greats in football, especially at the quarterback position, say they're in the film room every single day for hours and hours on end.
Of course.
So now you as a professional guy,
Bro,
Kyler Murray, all the hype coming in.
especially
You don't want to do you're not doing that. Just
Like you
goes to
said,
show
bro.
the work ethic. It's just not there. It's very weird. I mean, I'm hoping it's not that case where it's just maybe is some little small little thing in there that maybe Kyler Murray is doing this shit. I don't know. But it's definitely like Ahmed said. It doesn't look good for all parties. It definitely shocked me. I didn't even know that was a thing. I'm searching up right now on Twitter, and some people are calling it racist.
Yeah, because he's a black quarterback, and you know, like the
I
whole stigma.
don't really think. I
That's
personally
weird.
really don't think that's
Okay.
racist.
I mean, it doesn't help the cause because you know, like that whole stigma. But I don't know about that. I think it's a Kyler Murray thing. You know, like I don't think it's gonna be like for Lamar Jackson when he gets paid.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott when he got his contract, there was no film. It's this guy, like those guys watch film.
Yeah.
But yeah,
For sure.
What's your conspiracy theory? Let's hear it. Let's dive into this. I'm so scared.
you know what's crazy, bro? You know what's really crazy? I was about to go to sleep, bro. My eyes were like closed. My eyes just opened, bro. I was like, oh, I got it, bro. This. I know it's about to happen. Crazy, bro.
Yeah, do you know that
So
that
fucking
Squidward?
random.
You know that Squidward
Yeah, he
meme
goes-
where he's like sleeping and then he just wakes his eyes up? That's fucking Ahmed. In reality, like,
For real, bro.
yeah,
But
what the fuck?
it's because I had like ESPN in the background, and I was like just in the background, I can hear him talking, and I just put everything together, bro. I was like, damn, bro.
He
I was about to
hasn't
start
figured
writing
out,
this
ladies
shit
and
down.
gentlemen. What he's figured out. we don't
Here's
know.
what's gonna happen, right? But first, let me start it off as like a story, kind of, bro. I don't know if you guys heard, right? But Tyreek Hill,
By the way,
right?
my bad, Ahmed. You look behind you like the CIA and the FBI are gonna come and attack you and like end it all. This is you're
Checking
gonna
his
find
shoulder.
yourself
You never know, bro.
checking his shoulder. You never know.
never
But go
know.
ahead, my bad. Go ahead.
But yeah, I don't know if you guys heard though, but Tyreek Hill, right, got paid by the Miami Dolphins this summer, right? And he's been doing a lot of talk, positive talk about his quarterback. He's been saying that he's more accurate than Pat Mahomes, right? He's been saying that I have all the confidence in the world that we will get the job done, right? About Tua, and listen, I'm not as hard on Tua as everybody. Like they're saying he's a total bust. He's not great. Like he's definitely overrated. You know, coming out of the draft, like you can see it by how the team treats him. It's fucking dink and dunks. Even with Jalen Waddle on the team last year, they don't go deep. And Devontae Parker, guys with studs. But whatever. And I was like thinking, bro, like there's no way Tyreek Hill believes these things. And I get it. You're trying to be a good teammate. I get it. But you would only talk about a guy like that if you know he's not gonna be there next year. And they just signed a coach, right? Who's would be unfair, but this is the way that sports are, especially in NFL. Who just signed on his first year, Mike McDaniels, right? I believe is his name. From the 49ers, right? And if they win like 3 games and Tua looks bad, and he's an offensive minded coach, right? If Tua looks bad, they have probable cause to say, oh, Tua didn't improve at all. We're gonna fire this guy, and Tua will see you later. What does that open up? What does that open up? That opens up a spot at quarterback, and that opens up a coach, right? There was a guy this summer who retired. Who was that in the NFL? Who retired briefly?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady retired briefly.
Fuck, I know where this is going. I know
Tom
where
Brady,
this is going.
Hold on. Tom Brady retired briefly, right?
Yeah.
Why though? Why? You know why? What also happened in Miami this summer? What happened?
The head coach.
Brian Flores, right? He got fired. Why? He was 10-6, right? He was a great head coach. They were getting better and better. I was going off saying, how do you fire Brian Flores? Because I didn't see it at that time.
I know where this is going.
Right?
I love it.
He fired Brian Flores because he was expecting someone to come there, and the NFL was looking at it too. There was also a meeting. Like a report. I believe it was at like a restaurant in Miami or a boat or something like that. That the owner, Stephen Ross of the Miami Dolphins, was there with Tom Brady talking about him. I believe that last year it was supposed to happen, but they don't want to have a bad look. Oh, you fired Brian Flores, you got a lawsuit, all this stuff. You can't have Tom Brady come in with a new head coach. Next year, though, especially if Tom Brady somehow wins the Super Bowl again and he can do whatever he wants, right? Only signed a 1-year contract, I believe. There's a guy who also wants to coach in Miami. That's, hell of a head coach, Super Bowl winning head coach, offensive minded, and has known Tom Brady now for the last 2 years, having played in the same division. That's Sean Payton, ladies and gentlemen. I believe in 2023, Tom Brady and Sean Payton and Tyreek Hill will all be in the Miami Dolphins. Unfortunately for me to say, as a Jets fan, but I believe that is what is in the works. We'll see what happens, though.
Interesting. Do that. You gotta do the Windhorse fucking the fingers pointed up. Why did, bro?
Why would they do that, bro?
Now, why would they do that? The second you said, "Oh my God, man," that's good. That's good. But can I ask a question though? You said a quarterback slot also opens up for who?
For Tom fucking Brady. What do you think?
Oh, okay.
Tom Brady and Sean Payton will be there in Miami with Tyreek Hill. That's why Tyreek Hill is doing all this talk, because he knows that Tua is not going to be there. He knows that Tom.
I was just making sure.
Brady.
That's crazy.
I understood this correctly.
Even
for a second there, I thought you were gonna say Tom Brady was gonna be like a head coach or offensive coordinator.
No.
That would have been.
It's crazy.
Interesting.
I don't know. It is interesting. I don't know if they go that route. I really don't. I feel like Sean Payton, because Tom Brady, I mean, literally, like you said, there's a lot of evidence that he probably wanted to be in Miami.
Yeah.
Obviously, he went to the other Florida team, but I feel like when you look at Sean Payton, I feel like he's destined for like Dallas, for the Cowboys. I feel like that's where he's gonna go, but you never know.
Poor guy.
Never know. It's a valid thing, Brady. Brady and Sean Payton in Miami. I mean, let's go. But a lot needs to happen for that to do. Listen, Tua, I'm not the biggest fan of Tua. I think he absolutely sucks.
Exactly. So we're already on the way.
I think he absolutely sucks. And Mike McDaniels, I don't think he's a good head coach in the league.
Ooh.
I think he's not going to be a good head coach in the league. I think he's a brilliant offensive mind, and that there's just some guys that are better coordinators in whatever thing they're doing, defensive, offensive, than being a head coach. I think there's a lot that they need to learn, especially discipline and knowing how to get respect from the players. So, listen, that it can absolutely happen, but we'll see. It's a prediction, and I trust him, Ahmed. Ahmed Windhorse.
As a Jets fan, I hope it doesn't happen, but I believe this summer it would have happened. This summer, but should happen. But next year, nobody's talking about it right now. Next year, in the summer, you're gonna hear a whole lot of things about Sean Payton and Tom Brady in Miami.
And regardless, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, the Giants will be the Super Bowl champions, so it do not matter.
I would like that prediction that I said the Giants are going to Super Bowl last season wiped from the interweb.
I think it was wiped, but now that you said it, it's not wiped anymore. So, no, I'm just kidding. Everyone knew you said that. That was kind of everyone around you at least knows that you said that. So,
well, he says that every year.
Yeah, no, like last year he was. I'm pretty sure he said it on the podcast anyway, but
ridiculous. I didn't say it in the podcast. It was ridiculous.
What do we got next on our list? Some combat sports.
We got a pay-per-view this weekend, baby.
UFC 277. I feel like.
Wait, before we shift topics, sorry. Have you guys seen Jimmy Butler's hair?
Yeah, we talked about it.
No, we talked
we talked about it
a little bit.
On the
I
podcast.
didn't say anything, but I did not. I'm confused because I saw the video of him just changing.
I don't even know how we got all that hair.
Was it the last?
It was the last
hairstyle? Oh, okay. Pretty fire. Fuck it. I
mean,
fuck
it
with
looks
it.
like a
That's
NFL
how
running
bored
back,
do you need
bro.
to be to how bored do you need to be, Jimmy?
And it has like color in it, right? It's got like the brown and yellow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
He looks like
he's an NFL running back.
he
Or maybe
looks
he's
like
just like,
he's a Chirac rapper, drill
is he like
rapper.
Jamaican? He's Jamaican descent.
It's something like that. It's something. It kind of looks like King Von. How bored do you need to be, Jimmy? Not saying that it looks bad. It's just very bored to do. Like just one day I'm gonna just get hair extensions. You know what I mean?
Fuck it, why not?
I don't know. It,
Get ready for the
it
Brooklyn
really
look.
does. Listen, as
Oh my.
Oh,
I-
long as we win a championship this year, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Bro, I just seen it on Twitter. That's who said King Von, bro?
yeah, this
Me.
one.
I can see it.
It
But
does. It does. Anyways, let's go.
UFC 277, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of Dallas, it is in Dallas. I believe in the Jerry Jones Stadium. What's that? What they call it? Jerry's World.
Yeah.
AT&T Stadium. Juliana, Pena, Amanda Nunes. The rematch, obviously, the crazy ass upset. You gotta put my video up here of me reacting to that madness.
oh yeah.
Juliana Pena versus Amanda Nunes. That's gonna be fireworks.
Hilarious.
Flyweight co-main Brandon Moreno versus Khara, France. I believe this is for the interim belt. Derek Lewis versus Sergey Pavlovich. Sergey, finally getting active again. This is a big test for him. The best guy he's fought yet. Derek Lewis, obviously on the downfall, getting knocked out. So we'll see what he does. Pantoja versus Perez. Flyweight action. Two guys in the top 5. I believe
Shout out.
Pantoja is a big fan too of SBS as well.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Pantoja.
His whole fucking crew voting in our first ever UFC tournament. And he won the flyweight, of course. So
And I believe the main card opener is Magomed Ankalia versus Anthony Smith. Magomed obviously is on the push to become a champion. Anthony Smith has shown that he's still got something left, but this is where he meets his match once again. Magomed Ankalaev is a man on a mission. That's the main card though. It's obviously not the sexiest main card of all time, but with that main event, it's gonna be a fun co-main, and hopefully if you get some finishes, then we'll see what happens. But yeah, thoughts on the main card. What fight stands out, if any?
on the main card,
Main card.
to be honest, I feel like up until what is it, UFC 280, we are in for a temporary period of pain with these pay-per-views. But on paper,
279 is
you gotta
ridiculous.
remember, when it's bad on paper, it's a fucking
They're
banger.
usually really good.
It's
Yeah,
a
that's right.
fucking banger of a pay-per-view.
It's
I
usually
forgot
Yeah,
which was
plenty
the
of
last one. What was it? UFC 275, I believe. That was 275, which was absolute dog shit on paper. It was like whatever, and that's the best pay-per-view with one of the best fights ever. But what fight
That was 'cause
stands
the main
out?
event was and Jake Matthews. That was a
You
big
know
one.
what fight I think stands out here, and I think we'll talk more about it when it comes to the betting segment. Brandon Moreno versus Khara, France. I think this is gonna be a really, really interesting fight. First of all,
First fight. Excellent.
seeing how Brandon Moreno bounces back from losing the belt, that's gonna be interesting. Khara, France, if I'm correct, has been on an absolute tear. I mean, Askar Askarov, he's not a scrub. Beat him. Cody Garbrandt, fucking two great opponents that he beat right there alone. It's gonna be interesting. I think we're in for a banger of a fight, and I can see it going the distance. And stay tuned for SVS betting, and I will explain who I think will win this fight because I think it's gonna be an interesting opinion. But yeah, this is gonna. I think this is gonna be the most underrated fight on the card. This one right here, not even underrated, but like tune
I
in
think
just
it's the
for
fight
this
everybody's
fight,
looking
and you will
forward to.
not be disappointed. Tune in just for this, and you're not gonna be disappointed.
Yeah, flyweights
sure.
don't disappoint.
Yeah,
Always go
for
up.
sure. I agree with you. I think Brandon Moreno, Khara, France is a fucking tremendous fight. I think these two guys are fucking the best of the best. Obviously, Brandon Moreno. I think they're fighting for interim belt, right?
Yep.
Are they?
That's the issue. And this is
They are.
also, I think so. And I also think this is Brandon Moreno's and Kygar fans' second time fighting against each
Yep.
other, right? So this is
2019,
going to be
first
really,
time
really
they fought.
interesting. This is going to be really, really interesting. Like you say, Kygar fans get into a crazy, crazy mode. Brandon Moreno went to a war, three fights against Figueiredo. So it's experience versus a guy that's just coming up. It's gonna be really interesting. We're not saying our predictions now, right?
No.
Well, we can.
Man, we can.
Only reason I'm holding back is, I mean, if you see the Twitter
Okay.
group
I'm not
chat,
gonna lie.
Uh,
I'm
oh,
kind
wait.
of torn.
I have SVS
Yeah,
betting.
I'm fucking, I'm
Going
really
in,
torn too.
I was good.
I really don't know who to go for. So it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. I still
Going
don't have a decision yet, but maybe by the time we have the betting shit, I'll have someone.
going in. I mean, I was pretty confident in Brandon Moreno, and just watching that first fight again. I mean, in the second and third round, he really put it on Kai France. Fucking Mets, bro. Bums. Anywho, listen, I believe Kai France has gone way better, and I think the damage and the war, like you said, that Moreno has been through. I mean, Kai France has been in wars, but I mean, in the last couple fights, he's been getting in there using his jab more. He's not just a that right hand guy. But it's a tough fight because I agree with the odds. Like Moreno should be the favorite. He has the wrestling to lean back on. And striking, I mean, he pieced him up for most of that first fight. So I believe that Moreno should be the favorite. But like I said, I mean, also I don't like that he's fighting in Dallas. It's gonna be a whole lot of Mexicans in there. It's gonna be a whole lot of pressure once again on him. I mean, he could thrive from that, but he could also fold under that. And I know when he comes out, like it's every time I see Brandon Moreno come out, I'm like, yo, you cannot bet against this guy. He looks like he's totally transformed into a demon, And once again, I'm gonna see him and I'll be like, damn, I can't go against this guy. But some things, Kai France, it could be his time. I really don't know. I'll probably have to wait till like the weigh-in to see how these guys react and stuff like that. But we'll see.
For sure. Also another fight. Well, not really a fight. Well, yeah, the fight, but mostly I'm focused on one guy. Magomed Ankalaev.
Magomed
Ankalaev. Sorry, thank you, Med, for I'm not good with pronouncing people's names, but
Turn of
Magomed
events.
Ankalaev.
I got the
This guy-
Dagestani, bro, and you got the Nigerians. Bro.
Straight up. But this guy, this is guy that I just telling people, but people that know MMA obviously know that this guy could be a potential title contender, if not
Sure.
a future champion in this division, especially against a guy like Jiri. If he holds up and he still beats a lot of these guys, I think he's the perfect matchup and perfect mismatch for a guy like Jiri. So I'm gonna watch that. Anthony Smith been in this for a while, fought a lot of tough guys, has that experience. So that's a very interesting fight. I should see Ankalaev win this fight.
Yeah,
Quite
I think
easily, but we'll see.
I think Ankalaev is definitely headed for the championship. I think he's got like a one fluke loss to Paul Craig. Otherwise, he's basically undefeated. So I think, and then again, that matchup against Yuri, I think striking wise, they're both kind of even, and Magomed can kind of lead on the wrestling. Obviously, any Dagestani has that wrestling in his back pocket, and so
Would be
if
interesting.
he gets past Anthony Smith, I believe a nasty finish of Anthony Smith here will really help him with the fans. So, first round finish for Magomed is exactly what he needs. So we'll see what happens.
What do you guys think of Pena versus Nunes?
I think Juliana at plus 220 is definitely live, but I also think we can't forget that Amanda Nunes, she is the GOAT. She is the knockout she has of knocking out the woman, like she has on her resume. She's definitely the greatest. And I think that first fight, you kind of give like not the excuses, because listen, it's a fight in there, and I've always said, like, I've always kind of found the fact that she not that she was ducking Pena, but the fact that fight never happened always kind of sus, and Juliana being so confident, it was like, okay, maybe something can happen here. But I mean, Amanda, being embarrassed like that, working hard, we'll see what happens. But I think Juliana plus 220 is definitely a live dog.
Juliana Pena will prove who has the bigger ovaries. You guys seen that shit? Tiku hasn't. I don't think he has. Have you?
No, I haven't.
I don't
So
know, but like they were
who
talking
was it?
about
Her
how,
coach. Her coach was like, "I'm here to prepare her for everything, and one of those things is to prepare her to mentally know that she has the bigger ovaries over Amanda Nunes." And like in a press conference, fucking Juliana Pena said it too. She was like, "I think when we go in there, stand toe to toe, it's gonna be about who has the bigger ovaries, and I think at the end of the day, that's me." So very interesting way to say
Listen,
who has the bigger balls. I guess I don't know. Fucking
Yeah. Listen, if it works and it motivates her and it
Yeah.
gives her whatever, fucking who cares?
bigger
Good
ovaries.
for them. Get it
You
going.
heard it here.
Big ovaries. Oh yeah. Yep.
Let's move on to the before we move on. Early prelims. Ahmed, I'm staring at a name. It's not hard to pronounce. Actually, there is one that it's hard to pronounce, but there is one name over here that sticks out, and I want to see if you're looking at the same name in the early
Light heavyweight?
prelims. No, light heavyweight is the name that I think you can't pronounce, which I don't think I can either. But
Yeah.
there's
I
another
know
name
exactly what you're talking
that's hilarious right here in the early
Adam-
prelims.
Adam Fugit.
Adam Adam Fugit. What a fucking name, bro. And he's the only guy without a photo. This is pretty disappointing. I want to know what Fugit looks like. Like,
He's supposed to be.
Yeah, I would like to know who
stylist, right?
Fugit is, bro. Let me see
who
Fugit.
the fuck is Fugit? Fugit? Fugit.
Adam
Fugit, who
Puro.
gives a fuck?
Michael Morales, though,
Yeah, he
13-0,
does look
I watched
like
the movie.
when you really Google it, he does look like an Adam Fugit.
What
Adam
the-
Like a guy that would have
Adam
he
Fugit.
would have that he looks like a guy that's named
Adam
that.
Fugit here.
Yeah, for sure.
How you doing? It's Adam Fugit.
What's his nickname? What's his
Fugit?
nickname?
Adam.
He doesn't even have
the
like a
great
nickname, like like
He's a local fighter from Dallas, Texas. Yeah, local fighter.
yo,
from Dallas,
you know
Texas.
WWE. You know WWE where they have like those fake guys, like the local wrestler. Like this guy might be it.
Yeah.
Oh, Jobler.
Yeah.
Speaking of SummerSlam this weekend,
That's
but
really
hold up, let's
nice
get to the
of you.
prelims real quick. Michael Morales,
Shout out,
first
my
fight
boy,
had a
Adam
lot
Fugit.
of promise. Got the job. I believe he fought like Alex Oliveira and stuff like that. It was a pretty nice fight for him. Yeah, we'll see. Blood Diamond returns. That's Izzy's boy. The first ever Egyptian fighter, Hamadi Abdel Wahab. First ever Egyptian fighter in UFC 5-0. I actually
Really?
watched some of his like local fights. Like he literally he's fighting like civilians out there. I get it, but like he literally just runs through guys. So
Civilians. That's such a funny way to
Wait,
put it, bro.
That's a funny. That is.
Civilians.
Dontel
That's
Mays,
hilarious.
he's kind of like a professional civilian, I guess, because he fights UFC. Drew Dober versus Rafael Alves. Rafael Alves is better than people think, but he would have to take Drew Dober down and submit him here to win. And I think Drew Dober only can submit now in this like stage of his career. You gotta be like Islam Makhachev or like Benil Dariush to make him tap out. So I believe Drew Dober gets back on. That'll be back-to-back wins from him. Matthew Semmelsberger. You love Matthew Semmelsberger. Has nasty hands. It's gonna be a fun fight with him and Alex Moreno. It's gonna be a possible fight of the night. Dragar Close returns. I remember that knockout against fucking Dariush. That was madness. But yeah, should be okay card, like you said. All these cards that might not look as sexy always end up to have some crazy ass finishes. So be on high alert. We'll see what happens in Dallas this weekend. Speaking of the WWE, is also back this.
SummerSlam.
I believe it's in Las Vegas.
By the way, shout out fucking Vince McMahon retiring.
Yeah, but he had some shit going on at that time, so I think it was the right time for him to step away.
Obviously, he didn't retire because he wanted to, but just a reminder that this guy literally made all our childhoods. So
Sure. I still have
Sad,
like, the action
sad.
figures.
But we don't condone.
Oh
what-
no, absolutely
what
not.
the allegations
Yeah.
or whatever it is.
It's just like
I mean, yeah, he's
Fucking
definitely. We have to
horrible.
respect what he's done for the industry to making a something that's, was in all
No,
our
I mean,
childhood.
he's an absolute
you have to
legend.
respect that.
In that respect, he's an absolute legend. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, but we
I'm
don't.
He
glad,
is a
bro.
standard.
Low key, I'm glad he's retiring because he's fallen off,
Yeah.
obviously, and he's old. He should
And
have
Triple H-
retired a while ago. Triple
and
H has
Triple
the
H,
reins
obviously,
now.
what he done with NXT
Yeah.
made that
What
way
he
more
did,
respectable.
bro.
And now
This
now
might
the chance to
be-
finally run it.
Yeah, this might be
The
like
return.
a blessing in disguise
Yeah.
of where WWE might be back in that sense, especially with the new rating that
Oh,
they're
yeah,
doing,
baby.
and with Triple H hopefully becoming the lead guy in that sense,
I mean-
and with AEW becoming this, I think this is what they needed. They needed this.
Yeah.
As sad it is, Vince
I need that
becoming
like
the scapegoat for that.
2000,
So we'll see.
2006.
Attitude
Theme song,
era,
bro.
bro.
Let's-
Ruthless aggression era. Let's go, man.
Let's move on to UFC betting. Ahmed, it's your time to shine. Oh wow, I already have this up here. Let's fucking go. UFC betting, SVS picks, ladies and gentlemen. Ahmed, I just want to say that dude Yanni or whatever yesterday was so nervous on Dana White's Contender Series. You can see his hands shaking, but very mathematical approach in his way of going
I
about.
think that's just how he is, that guy, bro.
Yeah, very interesting. But we have our own little segment here, SVS betting, SVS picks, whatever the fuck you want to call it, where we choose what we think you guys should go for. And last time, I believe we were only off by one fight in our parlay, no?
Yeah, I mean,
Only off by
it
one
was still
fight.
an L. That's all that matters. You know,
Yeah,
like,
that's all that
if
matters.
it's an L, it's an L.
Yeah. But
See what
talk
happens
us through
this
it, Ahmed. Let us know what your picks for the 5-leg parlay are this
week.
UFC card.
Like I said, I was kind of torn, with these like fucking main card fights. Khara versus Brandon Moreno. It's a hard fight. I'm obviously gonna have my own picks for that and like stuff like that. But I don't know if I trust to give him out like that. So we'll go with mainly a prelim heavy parlay. We'll start off with Kim. What's her first name? It was like Jonghyun. I don't want to butcher it.
Ji Yong Kim.
Ji Young Kim, who I believe her nickname is like the girl zombie or something like that.
Interesting.
But she's tough.
Figure that out.
She always has that serious face on. And Jocelyn Edwards is not that impressive to me, And Kim can take damage, has solid striking, can keep the feet up, keep the fight up. So especially at plus 102, I think that's nice little juice right there. Why not? Let's go with Hamadi. He welcomes. In his debut, I believe we can also go the fight to not go to distance was minus 210. That's a little too much right there. Even though I think that someone is gonna get finished in this fight, I believe Hamadi can strike, and then he also has supposedly is a good wrestler. So if this fight does go on the ground, he also has that advantage. Also, as a plus 150, it's also intriguing. So we'll see what happens. Now let's go with Drew Dober. Like I said, I think this is a matchup that he's not fighting a top guy like Dariush or Islam. That I don't think he's getting subbed, and if he's not getting subbed, he's outstanding on the feet. He can knock anybody out with that nasty left hook. Drew Dober can win this on points, can knock him out. So we'll take the money line.
Just
on
want to
Drew
say,
Dober.
very, very interesting that we're starting this parlay off. We started it with two underdogs, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
of course.
Ji Young Kim, not much of an underdog, but pretty cool way to start the parlay.
After the first round, these odds already jump up anyway. So
Yeah.
Vegas doesn't always know what they're doing. And we're also gonna throw in Magomed. Listen, that's minus 650. You can go back down a little bit to like minus 510, I believe at most. If you want to take a double chance on FanDuel, take him by KO or points, because I don't see him getting a sub here. So
Minus 550 for Magomed by KO, TKO, or on points.
So it's a little better than the minus 650, but listen, I'm just taking Magomed money line for the sake of it. And we're gonna take drag her close. I believe that he's also, like, once he's not fighting the top guys in the world, he can beat a lot of these guys, and I believe this is a good matchup. Vegas also agrees he's a -245. I believe it'll be a fun fight, but I believe Close has the power, and he can also go the distance and still comfortable win. So we'll see what happens in that one. But that's a 5-leg parlay for a plus. What's that? 11.19.
11.19. So
$10 will win you $112.
$10 here, ladies and gentlemen. We bet 10,000. No, I'm just kidding. $100 to win you 1,119.
Go bankrupt out here, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, gamble responsibly. Don't gamble at all if you can't handle it. There's always help if you need help. I don't know. It's somewhere.
I do have some picks. I know you only put some like underdog of the card. If you want to talk about that, but I do have one pick that I was like, that's real juicy.
Let's hear it.
Listen, I mean, if you're gonna pick Juliana, the smart thing to do, is just take the money line at plus 220. That's a smart thing to do if you believe that Juliana is gonna win again. But I mean, if you're confident, I don't see Amanda getting finished again. I believe she worked really hard, but I believe Juliana has the wrestling to put her down and to keep her and make her tired, that she could win on points. And you want to tell us how much Juliana by points is? I already have the number in case you don't have
Juliana
it.
Pena by points is plus 550. Those are some odds, man.
Fucking nasty.
Those are some fucking odds, ladies and gentlemen. That is $100 wins you 550. But I mean, that's easy math. But $100 wins you $550. That is pretty fucking fire. Sorry.
So yeah,
hey, I
that's
don't gamble.
juicy. Keep an eye on that.
You too. That's a good pick. But let me tell you my pick, right? So I got two interesting things here. First, I got my pick for underdog, best underdog choice, and I think the most secure underdog odds here is Khara France at plus 180 over Brandon Moreno. I don't know why. I just feel like this is a really good bet to make. Plus 180, not the greatest odds, but not horrible. $100 wins you 180. It's not bad. With all the energy coming into this fight, Moreno, like you said, you don't know what could phase him, what might not. His last fight, losing the belt, that always sucks. It never feels good for a fighter for that to happen. So if you want to choose an underdog, I have a feeling Khara France here, and maybe even with the finish. I don't know. Let me check the odds by finish.
Khara Smith by submission
by KO.
Plus 1,500.
Oh shit! Plus 650 for Khara France by KO TKO.
Yeah, I mean,
feel like if you're gonna pick a finish,
Moreno doesn't get knocked out.
Best.
So.
Yeah.
And Khara France, like, unless he's fighting like Cody.
Don't sleep on. Actually, then again, Cody fucking glass jaw recently, but also our early finish pick as a possibility right here: Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena. I have Amanda Nunes. Let me pull it up right here. Amanda Nunes by TKO in the first round is at.
You said it was plus
230. But
which is crazy, but it also,
hold up.
I get it, but
well,
like, that's, we're talking about a woman, like a woman.
This is Amanda Nunes.
In 1 round, plus 230.
This is Amanda Nunes.
Way higher than that.
KO TKO. Oh, I had in rounds 1 or 2 as a plus 230, which is not bad. That's like a pretty safe bet. But if you want to go round 1 here, that's Amanda Nunes KO TKO is plus 440.
If you want to mess around with KO bets, I think Magomed here is a one guy that can finish anybody. Magomed first round knockout is plus 440, so look at that. But also Anthony Smith submission, anything can happen. Fluky plus 1,500 submission. Wow. He's got those long legs for a triangle. God forbid, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, it should be a fun card. You want to talk about the...
Yeah. Let's talk about Dana White's Contender Series. Last night, some interesting fights, but obviously the main reason we are here is Dennis Buzukja. fighting his second time in Dana White's Contender Series. First time losing on decision, but this second time, I mean, what did you guys think? What did you guys think of Dennis Bazookia's performance? I know we were closely monitoring it.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, from an unbiased standpoint, if we're being honest, I thought he did good. I thought, especially the first and second round, where I felt like he showed off a lot of skills that some people probably didn't know. I thought his takedown defense against a guy from a very good camp, alpha male camp, where they breed really good wrestlers, and I thought he did very well in that sense. I thought his striking, his kickboxing was really, really good. I thought he just didn't get that clean punch. It was so close, so close to that knockout big power punch. He was very close to it, but it just he didn't get it clean, and that's stuff that you got to work on. As a MMA fighter, I think he's still young. He's around great guys, great champions, and I think he's gonna get better. I think looking at the third round was definitely the most disappointing round for him, as a fan of him, because I feel like he kind of gassed out and started doing a lot of. It was funny because I was saying like he was doing a lot of questionable things, and I was saying to myself, I'm like, he's fighting like such an Albanian right now.
Oh yeah,
like such an Albanian thing to do. Gassed out. You know what? Fuck it. Go and fuck it. I'm knocking him out. I'm trying.
Bro, context-wise, like Albanians. I'm not saying this because I'm Albanian. Like, they literally just like there's just something about their mannerisms in every sport that is just like wild. Yeah. Like just like in soccer, they, like once you get to the dying minutes, they just go in 2-footed tackle, punt the ball up. Who gives a fuck? Yeah. So.
Exactly. So it was very risky. Don't get me wrong, and I feel like he was winning round 1 and 2. Judges might think differently.
29-28, by the way, unanimous.
29-28.
Dennis Bazookia 29-28 defeating Khara Romero.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. But I also felt like in the beginning of that round 3, he was hitting him with big shots. Shot. Shout out to that kid, man. I think he also himself needs to improve. I think his striking was horrendous. Very awkward guy. He's a tough son of a bitch. And I thought Dennis Bazookia showed a lot of good. But his bad is something that he can improve on. But like I said, 24 years old, I believe in him. I think he will get better, and I do believe he deserves a shot at a UFC contract. I mean, the first guy he fought, that guy was pretty good. This guy's doing good in the UFC, and he did. It wasn't a straight combination.
For the first time?
I forgot his name, but
for you guys right now.
Yeah, if you could pull that up, Yoni, for us. But he was good, and he's doing good in the UFC right now, beating a lot of guys, knocking him out, and it was close. It was close. People think it was like
Bagdasarian.
No, that's not bad.
Yeah.
It's
not bad. This guy, he's good. And Dennis Bazookia is somebody that I believe he's good also. So, like I said, I'll say it again. The good was good, showed a lot of promise, and the bad was bad. As sad as I want to say it, but he could definitely improve, and it's not stuff that damn, this guy sucks. No, stuff that he can improve on, and I think he will improve on it. We'll see him. I do believe he will be in the UFC soon.
I think obviously he didn't get the contract at the end, but I think he's definitely the first in line for like a replacement fight or something on a card for sure. Out of everyone else who did not get a contract, who won their fights, I think he was the best. Paul Felder, that was his choice for number 1 to get a contract, obviously before the finish. So number 2. So I think he was impressive. He showed great skill, especially kickboxing, bro. When he landed those 2 kicks to the body straight, like this dude Khara Romero ate some shit, bro. He ate some.
Tough.
And he's
not
tough,
a lot
bro.
of guys are gonna. Not a lot of guys are gonna take that damage, man.
Absolutely
not all that. He was a tough son of a bitch, and Dennis got a lot of pop in this fucking shit because he's throwing heat. He's throwing heat.
Yeah, and I like you said, Tiku, there was nothing there that I was concerned about. Everything in his performance told me, as a 24-year-old fighter, young, with a great team around him. Let's not forget that great team around him.
You will learn from a situation like this.
He can improve on every wrongdoing he did last night. Like his back against the cage, fucking some guy just dry humping him for a whole round.
It was
All you need is well, I'm not an MMA fighter, but it's something he can improve on. It's something that with a fucking dude like Aljamain Sterling in your camp, who's a dominant fucking grappler, it's something you can work on. And next fight, guess what? That's probably not going to be a problem. And that's actually the best part about it. Yo, let's not forget.
Yeah.
He was facing a fighter who wanted to get to the ground, wanted to grapple, wanted to wrestle, whatever. And guess who had the takedown that fight? Dennis Buzukja did. So
very good takedown too.
Great takedown. So he beat that guy in his own game as well. There was not an aspect where Dennis Buzukja lost last night.
Too.
Oh yeah, definitely demoralizing. Did he get the finish? No, but his striking.
That's the thing.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks that is the criteria. But at the end of the day, you kind of understand it. But Dana, at the same time, I mean, we'll talk about it more. I'm not gonna get into that. Just Dennis Buzukja, I think, keep your head up high. It's not a performance you should be ashamed of. You won. You're, in my opinion, first in line for a replacement fight on a UFC card. Hopefully it's in Madison Square Garden, because I have a feeling that's what he was eyeing once he got his contract. Oh yeah, I'll be there. Fucking, I hear Dennis Buzukja's on the card. So this is a 24-year-old kid with lots of potential, who I would not be surprised if we see him in the UFC very soon. Ahmed, let's hear your unbiased opinion, because as much as me and Tiku want to say it, there's of course going to be a little bias in there, but
of course.
I mean, my whole like philosophy and like thinking about like winning and losing is that like I love winning more than I hate losing. I don't care how you win, especially in that kind of like a lot of pressure on a 24-year-old kid. A lot of pressure and his second time coming back. I don't care how you do it. You better go in there and you better win. And he won. And that first round, I thought he showed not good, but great takedown defense. Like you said, a guy who is dying to get the fucking fight on the ground. He was dying. Like standing wise, he couldn't hang with Dennis. Like you said, those body kicks were nasty. Had a nasty knee in the second round. Fight could have easily been stopped right there. But like you said, the kid was tough as fuck. So, not a lot of guys are going to be able to eat those shots. I think that third round was definitely his worst round, especially when you kind of, like, how the fight was going. You kind of expected that, Dennis would get, like, at least probably hurt him really bad, or maybe, like, even get the finish. But how the fight ended, wasn't great for him. But I think the fact that he still went in there, he was definitely not dominated in any way. He was hit by maybe one big shot. Showed a great chin, the Albanian chin. But listen, like going in there was supposed to get the job done and win, and he did that. So I also think obviously like we're gonna talk about it, but Dana White, he's got a big what's the word, like these cards on Tuesday have been kind of crazy. A whole lot of finish and stuff like that. Maybe it's kind of unfair to expect that every single Tuesday, and sometimes these kids just got have to get the their hand raised, and especially when a guy is coming back for the second time. He's just here win, and when he did. So I think, like you said, maybe like he won't get the contract, but if a fight falls through, he's the first guy they call. So maybe you see him in the UFC soon.
Yeah, and 100%. And that's how I look at it. I feel like it just kind of like bothers me a little bit that I feel like Dennis Buzukja could have easily gone that big win, that big dominant win. Just so close.
Like I was saying,
that's what kind of just like
in the group chat. It's very easy for us to say. Like when you're in there. When another guy standing, it's not like, oh, I'm gonna finish it right now. It's you have to watch for everything. So
exactly. It's unfair to expect greatness from everybody. People could literally die in there. So exactly. I agree with you on it. It was a good performance. It's nothing to you did your best, and everyone's proud.
Everyone's proud for sure. He did not disappoint anyone.
Definitely rep Albania well.
Oh yeah.
So,
bro, just hearing
him
him talk about us and like speaking Albanian.
You
see Laura Sanko talking about Albania, bro. Like, come on, man. That was just
the watch party
a taste,
in Kosovo?
a glimpse. Yeah, that was just That was
4
just a
a.m. whatever
glimpse.
it is. So
A glimpse of what's to come in the future, ladies and gentlemen. When he's waving that Albanian flag after winning fights in the UFC, then it's gonna be a great feeling. But yeah.
Oh,
Speaking
man, I'm
of,
about to get
and
in
I'm
there.
glad a
shout
man
out
brought
shout
it
out
up.
to Ramiz Brahimovic.
Yeah.
Brahimai, not
Abramovich.
Brahimovic, you fucking
Yeah.
prick. But
Brahimai.
it's Brahimai, yeah.
He's Albanian and he fights in the UFC.
Yeah.
Also Muslim brother. So
Great
Shout out to him.
representation there too. But you brought it up a little, and it's definitely something we're gonna talk about before getting into the trivia. Dana White, very angry in his post event interview with Laura Sanko, talking about, I don't care what you did in your career the last 5 years. What are you gonna do tonight? He said nobody showed any urge, any energy besides Joe Pfeiffer. Dana White, like, okay, you built this business. You did the right thing a lot of the time. But how often do you... First of all, we're talking about a finish here. A finish can be pure luck a lot of the time. It can be... Don't get me wrong. Joe Pfeiffer, I think, great energy coming in. Good finish. He did it. But how many times do we see finishes where it's like, out of nowhere, fucking a fluke, it happens? Versus a performance where you see someone perform like Dennis Bazookia did, showing all his skills, showing little to no weakness that can't be improved on, and you're going to deny that over some guy who maybe gets a fluke knockout or whatever. Is Dana White fair in his criteria for who gets the contract? Is he being fair on fighters who put on a great performance but don't get that finish, over a fucking an opponent who just wants to grapple the whole time, or opponent who's stagnant the whole time, like we saw Costa's opponent? Let's not ignore that. Costa's opponent was just fucking standing there, backing up the whole time, not trying to engage while Costa was waiting for the punch. Obviously, Costa could have engaged a little more too, but what do you guys think? Do you think Dana White is being fair, not being fair?
I think it's got to be something like absolute. Like, if you come in here and you get a finish, you will get a contract. I guarantee you, Dennis Bazooka will come in there looking for a finish if that's the case, But you're supposed to go in there and win. That's the most important thing. Winning a fight against another man is already hard enough.
Mm-hmm.
To put all this pressure on. I mean, most of the time it's guys probably under 25, right? So it's a lot of pressure, especially for him. In the second fight, there was even more pressure. So I think for him, in that case, it was probably unfair because maybe all the hype with him and Aljo and his second time coming back, maybe it was unfair. And he was pretty damn close to getting a finish in that second round. He was like, ref could have stopped in after that knee. Because he went right down for the takedown. Yeah, I mean, it's a little unfair. I mean, these cards have been crazy, so I get Dana White kind of being pissed off about that. He also brought, I believe, his boy Lorenzo Fertitta to the fights, so maybe he was kind of pissed off that he brought him out there, and then this one time that it wasn't insane fight. So maybe he's got his own personal thing with that. But listen, it's kind of unfair, and in my opinion, I would have gave Dennis the contract, but we'll see.
You know what I think it is? I think it's a big part of it, and I could just be talking out of my ass. I think Dana White wants to set the groundwork for the entire season, because I heard that in season 5 he was giving out a lot of contracts like to people who probably didn't deserve it and whatnot. So I think he's trying to lay the groundwork here, and I think he's trying to say, like, you need to be impressive, you need to come out, you need to engage, because we did see a lot of stagnant, scared to engage fighters yesterday, for sure. Dana White's Contender Series started out with a lot of caution, and he doesn't want that. I understand that. It makes sense, but it's a little unfair the way he did it, the way he post-fight interview after fighters give their heart out and saying, like, I don't give a fuck, like, fuck you.
Bro, this is not the first time Dana's done this. He's always done this.
Yeah. I think it's just, this is for show. I think that he wants to lay the groundwork. he wants people to come and engage because he's going to get more knockouts. Obviously, if you give fucking 4 contracts the first day and 3 of them are finishes by decision, fighters are going to be like, let me play this safe and get the decision win. So I understand why he's doing
Gotta
it.
be absolute too.
Yeah, I think the reason he's doing it, like I said, to lay the groundwork. Fighter like Dennis Bazukia, very likely, probably Dana White went to the back, talked to him, and was like, dude, good performance. I can't give you a contract because I don't want people to think they can just come in here and win in the decision. I want finishes. That's what people like. That's how they get entertained. But first fucking opening I get in featherweight that I need a replacement fighter and it's nearby you, you'll get it. I think that's a very big possibility that happened. So, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I think you guys said well.
Ahmed, you want to bring us into the trivia, speaking of Dana White and giving out contracts to people who don't win by domination. Ahmed has a little trivia for me and Tiku. Fucking
So,
let us
essentially,
know. Yes.
essentially, it's basically the top 5 most boring UFC title fights. It's title fights that if it was like it was yesterday in that Tuesday Contender Series, if Dana White would have gave them a contract, it's got to be that bad at like some all-time worst title fights.
Yeah.
So I need top 5, excluding Damian Maia from the list because Damian Maia could probably have all 5 of them.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't fight in 5 title fights.
So-
I go first, right?
Yeah, Tiku, you can go first, but let me just recap. So, basically, to everyone watching, if these fights were in Dana White's Contender Series, you would probably not see one of these champions in the UFC, by the way, champion in the UFC, getting a contract based on what Dana said yesterday. So, Tiku, you can go first. Mind you, we have 5 hints that we share. Once a hint is used, it is gone. Some of the hints include...
Don't go hogging them.
Yeah, well,
Like a piece of shit.
you're going first, so you can use the best hint, which is
Not.
you can use the fighter, the opponent, the UFC card, the venue, and the weight class. Those are the 5. So Ahmed, it's in Ahmed's hand. Yeah, you're gonna use fighter right away, and you're gonna get it wrong, and I'm gonna steal thanks to you being fighter.
No, I'm not. I already have one. It has to be in the top 5.
Well,
But now,
Ahmed has it in order, so if you use the hint wrong, you have to use a hint. Ahmed has the order.
no,
So
I don't want to use it.
you have to use the hint.
built
We have
different.
5 hints, 5
No.
fucking fights. You're not gonna use a hint.
No, I'm not. I'm built different. I know I'm right. Like I
We'll
know.
see, we'll
So,
see.
Can I go?
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Can I go first one?
You get one.
Israel Adesanya. Has to be.
That's top 3. That's number 3. I mean, bro,
You
like
don't
it's
need
literally like an
that
image
shit.
of him just standing in there, like
Exactly.
I'm
Just
moving
looking at
around,
you.
like
It has to be.
especially after what we just watched with Whaley and Joanna, to go from that to that.
Oh yeah.
That was like
absolutely,
before
it
the
makes it
pandemic.
even
Right?
worse. It makes it
Yeah,
even
That was
worse.
like the last event.
That was the last
before
event
the
before
pandemic.
COVID. Yeah.
If Whaley versus
248.
Joanna wasn't right before that, that would have been the biggest failure of a card like ever. That
Oh
was
my
like
goodness.
they would have had to give
Imagine-
refunds probably.
That's crazy because I think that was that's the best women's fight ever.
easily,
It is.
Female fight ever.
easily.
Greatest.
Easily.
So
So it's just like it's insane the polar opposites.
okay,
But
Tiku,
yeah.
congratulations.
I got one.
You get your point. But I'm not gonna be like you. I'm taking my fucking hint. Ahmed, give
So
me the
soft.
fighter for this second one.
The champion.
The champion who won the fight.
I can't give you the for the second one, but I'll give you for the third one. For the second one,
Okay.
I'll give you the champion.
Whichever one you can give me it for.
For the champion, I'll give you GSP. I'm not impressed by the performance.
Oh damn!
You know
Not
it's funny.
impressed by performance. You have no chance of getting this. I don't even think you
No,
know who
no,
you're
I
gonna
had a
fall.
chance, bro, but I skimmed it because I deadass didn't think this would be
Listen,
on
bro,
the
you just
list.
think about the guys who
saw it.
were back then, right? You know, not too back then, but back then.
This is a massive failure on my end because mind you, everyone watching, context-wise, I was originally supposed to set up this segment and I passed the chain of command to Ahmed. So I was doing research for this. And I searched
Oh.
up 10 most boring title fights
Oh,
and GSP was there against someone. I forgot who. Was his no, I remember. No, I don't. I'm gonna pass.
Oh, you can't pass, bro.
I'm gonna fucking get it
Alright.
wrong. It was
We'll come back to it.
It was GSP. Fucking hell, I fucking forgot this one.
You want like the year or something, bro?
No, I'm not gonna use two. Actually, Tiku, you can use a hint because obviously I'm wrong. So you're stealing, and you can use the hint.
I mean, but like, I get that, but like, let's just say I say the opponent. Like, you know what I mean? Would this be like for a different
No,
fight?
don't use opponent. That's fucked up. No, you can't use.
Because why not?
That's obviously
don't wanna make
fucking
the
cheating,
rules.
man.
It's not cheating, but I don't know, man. I mean, listen, I don't really look. Bro. I mean, Matt Sarah, the second fight. No, not really. No. I take that back. I take that back.
He's probably like the last guy you
Would
like,
think.
you almost forgot that he fought him. And he was like, I mean, had a good record. He's known for like, I don't want to say it, but like who he hangs out with, bro. Sorry, I mean that's the biggest hit I can give you.
20 seconds on the clock.
From California.
Who he hangs out with. Okay, now that I mean, if that's the case, I mean,
Can I help Tiku a
Would it
little
be-
bit? Does his last
would
name
it-
start with an L?
No.
Fuck.
no, I know who he is, but I want to make. So how much seconds do I have left? Who he
10.
hangs out with? That's pretty obvious. Would it be Thiago Alves?
No.
Fuck.
What the fuck is Thiago Alves hang out with?
Doesn't he not hang out with Nick Diaz? Or I'm thinking about someone.
Oh, I mean, like it's crazy how you bring up Nate Diaz and you don't bring up the guy, bro. Like he's like, part of the army, bro. This is like I can't.
Wow. Oh
essentially-
my God! Now
Michael
I know.
Bisping.
Yo, you better. No,
No, we're
now
wrong.
I know.
This is gone. Like, we lose.
It's done. I can't use it.
No,
Alright,
what the
so it's
hell?
done.
We both
All right,
guessed.
bro,
Wait,
do I
hold
give you the name?
Yeah, give it to us.
I know
That's
who
it.
it is. Fuck.
no one
GSP
gets-
versus Jake Shields, UFC
Jake
129.
Shields. Fuck, bro.
Listen, it wasn't like
Oh
the worst
my
fight of all time, but
God.
it also wasn't a great fight. That's all I'm gonna say. Bro.
And Jake Shields, I'm a fucking idiot,
Oh.
bro. Literally, as soon as you said the other
And
guy,
bro,
man.
I mean, like, I found this from the top 10
Oh,
list,
bro.
so like you had it right there.
I had it, bro. Well, I'm not gonna cheat and
Okay.
bring it up now.
Yoni,
Take
go ahead,
the L.
though. Yeah, I believe you're
No,
right.
Tiku's next. I had that one. Tiku,
Fuck, bro.
it's your turn.
All right. Now I'm gonna use my shit. What was it again?
We used fighter already, so
venue?
you can use opponent, venue,
Use champion.
UFC card, or weight. The weight that it was at.
Opponent.
Division.
Opponent, let's go with Masvidal.
No, I know this. Oh, he doesn't know. He doesn't know.
Yo. Nah, I do know. What the fuck up? Are you crazy? I know what it is. Usman versus Masvidal.
Which one?
First one, obviously.
All right.
What is?
Listen, I'm
Look
like,
at Ahmed's face. Ahmed's face is mad funny. Yeah, the one that the guy got knocked out. You know,
Of course.
that
But,
one's the boring one.
Knockout of the year, but obviously,
Fuck.
like maybe. But yeah, I mean,
you're mad,
like,
Yoni. Cry for me.
I mean, listen. I should.
that was like on like 6 days notice, so you can't really expect too much from Moreno Masvidal. But that was
Honestly,
for the hype it was, bro. Like I was so like, I mean, I get it. I was so hyped for that, bro. For him coming out
Nah, me
6
too.
days.
oh,
like-
me too.
Ahmed.
Oh,
That was
the
insane.
embeddeds, bro. The embeddeds were wow,
Ahmed.
crazy.
Insane.
I'm gonna use one of the hints, just to take it away from Tiku, because I know one of the fights on the list for sure. All right, so one of the hints that I'm gonna use is gonna be weight division, right? Taking it away from Tiku. You say whatever weight division you want for any of the fights. I know for sure one of the fights on this list. So just give me any weight division for any of the fights left.
Little
I'll give
sneaky
you
fucking tactics.
I'll give you
This is crazy. I should
light
have done
heavyweight.
opponent.
Light
Deadass.
heavyweight.
Light heavyweight, thank you, because that's not the fight I was gonna guess. Rose Namajunas versus Esperanza.
Yeah, I mean
That's
that's
there.
That's number one. That's
Bang,
the worst fight of
bang,
all
bang,
time.
bang,
Like
bang.
championship fight. That's the worst of all time. I literally remember like saying to myself, talking to myself in my own room, saying, "What the fuck am I watching this, bro?" And I believe it was like Canelo was also fighting someone at that time. No. That was Rose versus Whaley. Yeah, that was a terrible fight. Terrible fight.
You know, Tiku, that doesn't even help me
Did nothing.
because I took away the hint, but now we both know it's gonna be light heavyweight. That didn't really help me.
I know.
If he would have said
fine.
like the women's whatever, if he would have said the women's one, I would have been chilling.
You're a piece
I
of
would have
shit.
taken that from you.
Nah, you're a piece.
But
You're a piece of shit. What are you gonna do?
anyway,
So yeah,
back to
we
Tiku.
got-
We got 2 left, right?
one more, I believe.
Oh yeah.
And
shit.
what
Yeah,
are-
one more. You guys got
No.
4 of them.
Yeah. And
Well, I mean,
what are the hints? I need a hint.
You could choose
I'm getting
venue or UFC card.
UFC card.
UFC 145.
145.
When we go searching up things, bro.
I'm not.
He's definitely.
145.
I
Damn,
literally
that's
see
a
you
old
only
one.
moving around.
So it's light heavyweight, right?
Yo, hands up, bro.
Look at him
I-
using the mouse.
I'm not. It's 145. So this is old, bro. This is
Light
like
heavyweight. I mean, bro,
mid-
like, and UFC
I know, but, like-
145. There's only been like 2 champions this whole decade, so not that hard.
Nah,
Yeah, just
bro, it's
Ahmed,
hard because I just
tell him
I don't,
everything.
I don't think about this. I don't think about this era like ever, bro, in my life. Like I really don't.
It's not
So
that bad.
145. So nah, it's just I don't care. And light heavyweight. I want to say it, but like I don't want to say it. You know what I mean? I 100% Yoni knows it because he's a little rat. You know, a little snake in the grass.
It's a rat. Bad
Fuck.
Light
Respectively.
heavyweight.
Where's
Would it
Noah?
be?
Where's Nova?
I am better Z's. You mad rat terrorist. That's so fucked up. Why would he say that? But yo, I don't know, man. This is all right.
At least get one.
Randy
get one.
Couture versus
Oh my goodness. Oh, things-
James Toney.
No, I mean, Randy Couture had some pretty bad fights, you know, but he also had a lot of great fights. But no, he's not in the top 5.
You know who James Toney is, the boxer.
Yeah, James Toney.
Maybe we fought the boxer.
Oh wait,
seen
I
the
might know
video,
this. I
bro.
might know this.
I seen a video of James Toney though. He
No, I
like
don't.
punched someone and like their whole face like broke or something, bro. It was like crazy. I don't know.
That's
It's on
not fun.
Facebook or something.
That's some shit he would do.
Yo, when you get ahead, bro, you're up.
Oh fuck.
He didn't even get the like champion right. So
Light heavy. You know what's funny? I have a fight in mind, but I don't know if they're light heavyweight or heavyweight. I'm not gonna lie. This is gonna be embarrassing, but mind you, fucking got into UFC post Connor era. Is okay. Can you give me venue? What the fuck is venue gonna do for me?
Then he's not gonna do nothing to you, bro.
It's
Vegas.
not gonna do shit, bro. He's gonna say T-Mobile Arena, and it's like, wow, fucking.
Nah, they didn't even have T-Mobile Arena back then.
no, they did.
No.
Maybe. Or no, it was
Definitely
like
not.
MGM.
Bro, I'm just gonna throw
Yeah,
this
that
out
was
there.
finished.
I'm pretty sure this was heavyweight, and it's gonna be embarrassing that I even say this for light heavyweight, but
Don't say that Cain Velasquez or something, bro.
no. No, I know Cain Velasquez was heavyweight. That's post Connor era. What division
really,
was
but-
Mirko Krokop, bro?
Oh my god! First of all, he was
Heavyweight, right?
He actually, I believe, was light heavyweight. He fought light heavyweight.
Him versus
Um,
Frank Mir was up there on the
and
list
heavyweight.
that I saw.
He fought at both. But yeah, I mean, he's not in there.
Who
He
was
had a
it
bad
then?
run in UFC though.
You tell us. Tiku won 2-1, right? Anyway, so
Bro, just think about it. UFC 145. Who's the champion at this point? Who's the greatest light heavyweight of all time? Who's the greatest fighter of all time? But
John Jones.
light heavyweight, John Jones. So we got one.
You know
He
what's
was-
crazy?
He was a
When you said light heavyweight, I was thinking of John Jones, but
Yeah,
but then you said
too.
UFC 145, and I'm like,
yeah,
Yeah.
not that bad, bro.
it's not that bad. Now that you said John Jones, I might know what it
Like
is.
Connor and Chad were like UFC 178 or something. Like that.
Which is
That's
kind
not
of crazy. John Jones at this time, John Jones was like fucking
bad. Even
motherfuckers up.
before that,
Bro,
even-
John Jones.
It was like his third defense against his former training partner Rashad Evans. That's the fight. There was a lot of hype going into that fight. You know, two guys that didn't like each other,
I heard.
and it wasn't that great of a fight. John Jones pretty much just showed that he's way better, but it wasn't exciting at all.
I was gonna say that.
It was a terrible
Now
fight.
that you said it.
That's top 5.
Wow.
So
Why
there's
did I
I
think
mean,
145 is
Anderson
like
Silva versus Damian
2006?
Maia.
So did I.
Definitely is
Why did I think
top
that?
5. What?
Why did I think 145 was like 2006?
Bro, because
Yeah,
it's
you're
such a
way off.
different era. I'm telling you, the post Connor
Yo,
and pre
it
Connor
bugs me
era
out.
is
That was
such a
like-
big gap, bro. Such a big gap.
I
Fox
didn't think it
Sports
was
days
that
were
long ago.
way before that.
Because you know how I like separate each era of MMA? UFC 200.
Really?
Like that, I'm like, post
like the-
UFC 200 to me is like everything now.
Was UFC
Before, it's like the
200?
old MMA.
Was UFC 200
That was the
DC
one-
versus John Jones that got canceled?
Yeah, that got
That's-
canceled. And
that's-
Brock Lesnar came in. They
that's-
came in.
That's the first ever UFC I ever like.
You didn't
So,
watch like
you know?
Conor versus Chad?
No.
You
I
didn't
did
watch
not.
like Aldo
And
Conor?
I did not. I did not.
Me neither.
You don't watch like the first John Jones DC?
No. I went to wait. When was first John Jones DC?
Bro, like that was like 2015.
Like for me, like speaking of it's kind of fucking sad as fuck now because watching him last week getting knocked out, Alexander fucking
Gustafson.
Gustafson. Bro, he's like
Legend.
he was one of the guys that really got me into the sport. Him on the cover of the game, like that's why I fell in love with him, and then like the whole sport. And now seeing him, obviously, he's older, he's done work, he's a Hall of Famer. Time to move on because it sucks like watching these legends get knocked out by guys who are
Beat
not
up like
elite.
that. Yeah. But yeah, I started watching UFC like Connor and ADS too. That's when I
Really?
started. A little
That's
late.
pretty
Well,
late.
Connor changed the game. Like Connor made it like you must watch. So
Yeah.
That's why
Everybody.
I always respect Connor, man. Listen, I always because he definitely got me into it. Because I remember hearing about, Ronda Rousey losing, and then Connor losing like a couple cards later. Those two were like the biggest guys.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, bro, I gotta watch Connor come back. It's just something that intrigued me, and ever since then, hooked.
No, the
on
Connor and Nate,
It's
like
one of my favorites.
everybody in high school, you must know about
Yeah.
that. Like you have to know what's going on, especially that
So
rematch.
that got
it was like
me
in the
into
summertime.
it, but like before that, I knew about UFC. I just never got into it religiously. Like I do
was-
now.
Bro,
'Cause I
like
remember
Chuck
watching
Liddell,
Anderson
everybody
Silva.
knows Chuck Liddell and he's a
Yeah,
legend. Like,
Chuck
of course.
Anderson Silva. I fucking
course.
loved Anderson Silva. And there's literally a Facebook status of me when he broke his fucking leg. I'm like, legend Anderson Silva.
Oh,
but like,
Chris, I mean,
talk about, like, getting
Chris
into
Weidman was
it,
my
like-
boy, so I was kind of
Yeah.
I don't know how to react.
but
You know what's
Anderson
funny?
Silva, he's one of my favorite fighters and stuff like that.
What's it called? UFC 200. It's funny that you mentioned UFC 200 was the first. Like, I went to that press conference. It was at MSG, and I had no clue who anyone was. So I was cheering for John Jones because what happened was, we've been there at the Hulu Theater together. The whole right side, you know where the press is now, like right in
Yeah.
front of the stage. That's where we sat that day at UFC 200. Bro, you could just imagine, like, the sport probably blew up so much since then. We literally sat at the front, right?
Oh.
you were there when Brock Lesnar was there?
Yo, Brock Lesnar wasn't there, I don't think. I think he probably got added to the card after, but UFC 200, right?
They got added to the
Bro,
card like
he was-
literally like a
He was
week
revealed.
before.
Bro,
He was
let me-
revealed, and then
Let me tell you
the
something.
whole-
something
the whole
else.
thing.
Let me tell you something. Hulu Theater, right?
Yeah.
We wait at the escalator. We were close to the front. We got there early, and they scan our tickets. We're walking, we're close to the front, and you just see people sprinting up the stairs, bro. No joke, sprinting, right?
Okay.
And
Oh yeah.
if you've
Okay.
ever been to the Hulu Theater, once you go up the escalator, you go to like the whole thing where they sell all the merchandise and all that, and
Yeah.
they stop you there now. But at that time, they didn't. It was straight to the fucking theater. Bro, people started sprinting, so we started sprinting naturally, right? Fucking, you see people running, you're gonna run. You want good seats. We start sprinting, bro. Tony, fucking first one that was in there. This was back when Tony was prime athlete. He was the first one in the theater. He saved us all seats in the front. Dude, no joke. Some guy dolphin dived. Face
dived.
planted. You know where they sell merchandise now? He ran up that, but like there's steps, and he didn't see his steps, so he missed his step. Dolphin dived his face
Oh,
straight
bro,
into the floor, bro. And everyone
You see
there.
those videos on
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
And we get there, we go to the right side of the stage. Well, the right side facing the stage. And everyone there was a John Jones fan. And on the left side, everyone was a DC fan. So fucking DC starts talking. The whole right side just starts like, fuck you, DC, fuck you. Wouldn't even let him speak. Naturally, I was like, all right, I guess I'm a John Jones fan. I got his autograph. Frankie Edgar was there too. Was this UFC 200? Maybe it was 205. I don't even know.
Yeah, I
Was
think
Frankie
I think
Edgar on
he's
200?
205,
He
bro.
was. No, 200. Jose Aldo, Frankie Edgar. Yeah. Jose Aldo, Frankie Edgar was there. Misha Tate, Amanda
Didn't
Nunes
you
were
also
both
go to
there.
205 though?
I did.
That was the
I
one
did.
with Woodley and
Yeah.
Woodley.
But yeah, fucking
And
sick,
then
bro.
Connor.
Ever since that day,
Brady.
UFC Hulu Theater press conferences, they're the best, bro. New York brings the fucking heat,
What
man.
the fuck you have a belt on, bro? This dude is
He won.
I'm the fucking champ.
He won.
Fucking trivia champ. It's like the
But
second
yeah.
time in a row.
Oh
Go
my
get it.
God,
Go
Ahmed's
find
going
it.
to get his.
Go find it. I'm coming to get it.
That
Go
about
find
does
it.
it
But
I'm strapped.
for our podcast. Today's episode. We hope you guys
The fucking
enjoyed.
guns right here. Look at that fucking
Okay,
guns.
that's not the belt I was expecting. We hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. We'll catch you guys next time.